Welcome to Xpertifi Newsletter. We will be discussing current banking news to keep you updated and informed. Let's dive into the news from last week. India and Russia are looking to create a flexible exchange rate between rupee and ruble. India and Russia are considering setting up a system to trade directly between the Indian rupee and the Russian ruble rather than using the US dollar as an intermediary. This would help both countries continue trading without relying on the dollar. Another focus is figuring out how to use the large amount of rupees that have been built up in Russian banks' special accounts, Vostro accounts in India. One idea is to allow Russian banks to use these rupees to invest in Indian stocks and securities. Senior officials from both countries' central banks and banking sectors are meeting in Moscow to discuss these ideas. The Reserve Bank of India (RBI) has also been gathering feedback from the Indian banks on how to make the system work. PSU banks raise loan rates. Public sector banks including Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank and UCO Bank have announced small increases in their lending rates following the Reserve Bank of India's recent monetary policy update. These banks have raised their marginal cost of fund-based lending rate MCLR by 5 basis points, 0.05%, for loan tenures of 6 months and 1 year. The changes are effective from August 10 or 12 depending on the bank. This increase in lending rates is a result of higher costs banks are now paying on deposits, and other banks, both public and private, have made similar adjustment in the past. Banks push for frequent Lok Adalats to settle small value loans. Banks have asked the government to hold more frequent Lok Adalats, special legal forums, through the debt recovery tribunals (DRTs). These Lok Adalats help to settle distressed loans outside of court. Last month, some public sector banks suggested this as a way to speed up loan recovery and resolve cases more quickly. Currently, banks can bring cases to Lok Adalats for loans up to Rs 20 lakh to try and settle them amicably with the borrowers. Banks believe if the government encourages more Lok Adalat sessions at the state level, many cases would be resolved faster. Currently, national Lok Adalats are held 4 times a year, but banks are pushing for more frequent sessions to improve the loan recovery process. Indian banks among the strongest globally, PM Modi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi stated that Indian banks are now among the strongest in the world due to major reforms made by the government. In his Independence Day speech, he highlighted how a strong banking system is essential for supporting the economy, particularly for the middle class, farmers, home buyers, startups and small businesses. PM Modi explained that after significant reforms, the sector has become robust and is now thriving, which strengthens the overall economy. Before we say goodbye for now, let's see how the various indices performed last week. Xpertifi has launched a banking course that guarantees 2 interviews with banks and NBFCs within 1 month of completing the course. So make sure to register yourself and inform your friends and family as well. Follow Xpertifi for banking, jobs and news on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and LinkedIn. See you next week with more news. Till then, take care.